Now that you've taken a quick look at what SAX is and what DOM, or the Document Object Model, is, now comes the million-dollar question. Should I use SAX or should I use the Document Object Model? Well, the simple answer is yes, you should. You should use both of them. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that one solves all your problems when it comes to XML parsing, because what's happening here, these handle XML parsing in two completely different ways, and they're both pretty cool. And I've got a little animation here, a little drawing that I want to show you to make sure that you understand this. When you're dealing with DOM, let's take a look at the Document Object Model first. This particular XML document that we're dealing with, let's say for example that we're trying to find the value of this name tag, Mark, right here. So we want to know the value of this first husband tag, the child name. We want to know the value of that. Well, in the Document Object Model, and notice this is not even all here, it's going to create an in-memory representation of this entire XML document. Now make sure you catch what I said, an in-memory representation of this XML document. Now, what if this is a 20 meg XML document? And it very well could be. If it's 20 megs, then that means we're going to consume 20 megs of RAM on our machine to load this document into memory, just so that I can parse down and get the value of the first name tag under the first husband element. That's not very efficient. Now, if I'm going to be traversing this thing, pulling a lot of information in a lot of different related ways, the DOM may be exactly what I need. Or if my XML documents are small, it may be fantastic for it. Let's compare and look at how SAX is handling it. Notice, SAX is going to read the document more or less line by line. It's going to parse it, but instead of loading it into RAM like the DOM's doing up here, it is simply going to use only enough memory to show one piece of data at a time. So it throws an event basically saying, hey, I've started reading the document. Then it's going to throw another event. Hey, I started reading the element people. Then I started reading the element husband. Then I read the element name. The character data for the element name is Mark. Well, notice what's happened here. I have found the data that I'm looking for here, right here at Mark. But I didn't have to fill up memory to do it, because in essence, the only thing that's ever in memory with SAX is one line at a time that's being parsed. Now, this is going to be huge. On large XML documents, no question about it, SAX is more efficient and it's faster because it is only using as much memory as you need for one or two lines of the document. You're just going to parse through. Also, SAX, if you'll notice, is throwing events that we can code to. So the bottom line with this, if this makes sense to you, use this to further investigate how you're using XML, what you're trying to do with it, and whether SAX or the Document Object Model is going to be most helpful for you. There's the main difference between SAX and DOM. If you can get your head around that, you can greatly become more efficient in how you're handling XML information that's coming your way.